is good, yo? It's your boy Ty back here with another video. In this video today, we're going to be doing another episode of our My Team makeover. But before we do that, I want to give a huge shout out to My Team Madness. They have an upcoming tournament. Have 1 week to sign up in that tournament. I'm going to be participating in that tournament as well as some 2K League players, some other popular YouTubers and streamers. So make sure to sign up for that if you haven't yet. The link to signups and their Twitter will be down below in the description, so make sure to go check them out. The first squad we're going to look at today was sent in by my guy on Mason, who says he has around 200,000 MT to work with, a little bit under. He says he's grinding for Larry Nance. So if he could add Larry Nance to the squad or he says he's grinding for Aaron Gordon, which I don't know if I would even recommend you getting Aaron Gordon. But if you could get those two guys, obviously they can replace Tubby Walker. But looking at your starting lineup, you got a very, very solid starting lineup. And honestly, your bench is solid as well. But you're on current gen, which because you're on current gen, that takes away the idea of Hedo Turkoglu, because that was my first idea who to plug in. Obviously, Hedo is a next gen type of player. But what I can tell you to do is pick up De'Aaron Fox. He's a very, very good addition, current gen specifically, because of the speed glitch and just kind of rim running point guards. I feel like are better on current gen compared to next gen. So give me De'Aaron Fox at that starting point guard position. Then at the backup three, we're gonna go down another a little different route. A guy that I feel like isn't hyped up enough as he should be. Gerald Wallace is so elite. Current gen, next gen, it just truly doesn't matter. So when you add those two guys, your bench becomes very, very serviceable. And this is the squad I would rock out with for the time being. This next squad was sent in by Andrew, who is also current gen, says he has 225,000 MT to work with. And he said his starters are all badged up. And I like his starting lineup. The one thing I won't say I love is Glenn Robinson at the 4. I think Glenn at the 3, I'm a lot more comfortable with that. But at the 4, considering he said he likes to run a lot of pick and pops, I'm fine with that. Now, with your bench, you have 225,000 MT to work with. Now, I'm not going to spend it all. The first thing I personally would do is replace Serge Ibaka with Sean Kemp. Now, that's my opinion. For the way you play pick and pops, I think Sean Kemp would fit you a little bit better just because of his Hall of Fame showtime. But that's my opinion. That's something that you can definitely look into. But you got CP3, Eddie Jones, Gerald Wallace, and Connie Hawkins. On current gen, very, very solid players. Honestly, the only big replacement I would say, I love Chris Paul, but I love Diamond John Stockton just a little bit more. And that's the really only big upgrade I think I would make if I was you, if I had that MT. Now, if you want to save MT, Chris Paul is probably a better bang for your buck for the MT he goes for, but John Stockton is just flat out better. This next squad here was sent in by my guy Wilfred on current gen, says he has 100k MT to work with. And honestly, the starting lineup is just fine. We're not going to change anything with that starting lineup, but the bench unit, we are going to change everything. I'm not going to sit here and lie. We're going to change everything, starting with the point guard position. Ja Morant, you're good, but you're not quite as good as CP3. Now, I know Ja Morant's free, but pay the extra 10 or so K and get yourself Chris Paul. Then I'm going to move to the center position. The next notable guy that has to go is Derek Coleman. Plug in Sean Kemp. These two AME centers you can run in competitive games. I promise you, you can. You don't have to believe me, but trust me. You don't have to believe me, but trust me. These guys can play. Okay, then we're going to move to the power forward position. There's one replacement I see, Boris Diaw to Jonathan Isaac. Definitely a change that I personally would make there. Then we're going to hop into the shooting guard, in which another change, I'm going to add Matisse Thybulle there, just because I like what he gives me a little bit more than a Jimmy Butler type of player. So as you guys can see, so far, we've made some big changes in the backup unit. Everybody besides Paul George stays. Now, honestly, I think there's many better players for their price than Paul George. I truly do. Now, you don't have to believe me, but I definitely feel like you could pick up a guy like Glenn Robinson, for example, plug him in there. If you wanted to go on a budget, just pick up Amethyst Gerald Wallace. He's going to hold it down, do what you need him to do. And honestly, this is the backups that I would run with your current situation. This next squad here was sent in by Bob on Twitter. Says he has 1 million MT to work with, but would like to limit it to only spending 200k. Says he's getting Aaron Gordon, Dwayne Wade, and Baron Davis very, very soon. So I'm not going to worry too much about the point guard position. If you have 200k to spend, I know the ideal guy for it. But I'm just going to go through your lineup really quick. I like the Wayne and AD kind of duo because AD's not that traditional inside big, but Wayne can help him out rebounding wise and stuff like that. Now, if there's one player on your team I would sell right now because of his depreciation value, in my opinion, it's Anthony Davis. I feel like he's going to depreciate pretty good in value in the next few weeks. So that's one thing you might want to do if you're trying to save MT. You know, sell AD, pick up Serge Ibaka, something like that. And if you did that, then I'd start Sean Kemp, run Serge Ibaka as your backup. But that's just another idea that you can kind of think about in the back of your mind. Now, the adjustments I'm going to make, obviously, if you're going to give me a 200K budget, this is the first guy I'm adding. Andre Kirilenko, add him to your squad. He can definitely play at a very, very elite level. Now, other than that, Darren Williams, Chris Paul, they're fine. Cam Reddish, Jaylen Brown, very, very good. Both of them are reward players. Now, Paul George is another interesting one. If he's fully badged up, he's fine there. Another guy I'm going to throw out there, Jonathan Isaac, very, very solid player. I honestly think Jonathan Isaac is better than Paul George. But again, that's my personal opinion. So if you have Paul George fully badged out, do your thing. I'm not telling you to sell him. That's just another idea for you. But definitely the biggest addition to your squad is AK-47. This next squad is our first next gen squad sent in by Wavy Greens on Twitter. Says he has 50K MT to work with. So I see a big problem in your starting lineup, okay? And I'm not going to put it lightly. I see a very big problem with Bam Adebayo, okay? There's nothing that Bam Adebayo is going to give you better than Jonathan Isaac. Like, okay, not that Jonathan Isaac, but there's nothing. I promise you, if you run Jonathan Isaac's a better defender. He's better shooting-wise. Bam might be better rebounding, whatever interior defense. But trust me, you're going to have a lot more success running Jonathan Isaac, plus you can add a little bit of your MT doing so. The next adjustment I think you need to make, pick between Juwan Howard, Boris Diaw. One stays, one goes. The one that stays, slide into that power forward position. Pick up Hedo Turkoglu. There's not a guy on next gen that I love leaning with as much as Hedo Turkoglu. Add him to your squad, and now your backup unit is looking so much more kind of just, you got Paul, Hero, and Hedo who can all go get you a bucket at any given time. Now, if you want to add Serge or Sean Kemp instead of Sabonis, that's one thing I would do. I love the speed of Sean Kemp. I think you're going to have more success, especially with this bad defensive unit. You need at least a guy that's pretty fast back there in Sean Kemp. And so I think that would help you out as well. These simple adjustments, I think you're going to have more success, honestly, on next gen. Specifically, if you want to take out Juwan Howard, I think there's many different options you can go. But if you like Juwan Howard, he can do his thing. Another option, if you want to ball on a budget, pick up a guy like LaFonso Ellis. That's a guy I would suggest. And I'm going to plug him in here because if I had your squad and was trying to save on MT, this is the squad I would go out there with. This next squad here was sent in by Rumors on Twitter. He has over 1 million MT to work with. And obviously, this is a very, very elite squad. So we're going to add some very elite players into this squad, okay? Here's the thing. The center positions in the auction house aren't good, okay? I don't even know if Tim Duncan's better than some of the budget ballers. And so I'm going to get rid of your centers. And I'm going to do something with this that a lot of people might disagree with, okay? But that's fine. First thing I'm going to do, Dominic Wilkins. I don't know if you're going for idols or not. But if I got 1 million MT, I'm plugging in the duo with Paul George and Andre Kirilenko. I have no choice but to plug in this duo because that's one of the top duos in the game, okay? You're on next gen. And if I know anything about next gen, I know that this guy right here is a problem. You guys might not agree with me, but I promise you, Thon Maker on next gen is a problem. And I kind of listen, next gen, give me Thon Maker over Tim Duncan. In Unlimited, for 90% of the people, they're going to have more success with this Thon Maker card than Tim Duncan. I promise you. You don't have to believe me, but trust me, until we get better centers out in the game, that's who I'm going with. And then at the backup center, you guys can pick Sean Kemp or Serge Ibaka. If you want to hold on to Mikan, you can, but I'm telling you, Mikan is just so slow that I think you're going to have more success with a guy like Serge Ibaka or Sean Kemp. For me personally, I'm going Sean Kemp because you know how I rock with him. The last squad here is sent in by Fabrizio on Twitter. Says he has 20K MT to work with, which is fine with the squad he does have now. I'm going to be absolutely demolishing this squad and building it back up. So take a picture of what it is. Remember, this is current gen. So on current gen, I'm going to get rid of the guys that I'm not that high on. Now, you guys can disagree, and this is for their relative price, okay? I'm just going to get rid of the guys I don't personally love on current gen for their price, okay? That leaves me with what, 5 spots to fill, which is easy enough to do so, okay? The backup 4, obviously, I don't need to tell you guys. You guys know who I'm highest on for his specific price. Jonathan Isaac. Instead of spending all of that MT on Cliff Hagan, get a downgraded version for a lot less in Del Curry. I'm telling you guys this. Cliff Hagan is the most hyped up card for his price probably in the game, okay? He's okay, don't get me wrong, but he's hyped up way more than he should be, okay? So Del Curry can do 90% of what Cliff Hagan can do. Then at the backup 2, give me Matisse Thybulle. I think this lineup is going to be a lot cheaper and you're going to have a lot more success with this lineup. I truly do believe. And then you're going to notice your MT go up. Once you sell Bam, I know he said Bam and Hero is eventually going to get a duo. They might. but it's not worth holding on to just because of that. Then in the starting center, you can go Sean Kemp, you can go Thon Maker. Do whatever you got to do. For me, I'll probably go Sean Kemp on current gen especially. I think this is a great squad to end it off, a budget squad that I pretty much reformed. I don't love Brandon Ingram that much on current gen, but he's just fine. If you like him, you can rock out with him, and this is a squad I would go crazy with. Alright, that is going to wrap it up for this episode of our Extreme Makeover My Team edition. I hope you guys did enjoy it. Remember, sign up for My Team Madness before it's too late. I think it is a $30 entry fee. It's a lot of fun if you are trying to get into the My Team scene. I think this one, I know the signups I will have is current gen. If you're interested in next gen, that's why their Twitter is there. DM them if you have any questions, because they will be more happy to direct you for next gen tournaments, current gen tournaments. Just DM them, follow them on Twitter, and they will be happy to direct you. Drop a like on the video, subscribe if you are new, and as always, man, I love you guys, and have a blessed day.